When Mike Tyson was asked if Gervonta Tank Davis reminded him of himself, considering how often fans and analysts compare the two, Tyson responded with a light laugh and said, "I don't know, maybe just getting in trouble with the law." With that, he dismissed any real connection between their boxing styles. For Tyson, the only similarity they share is a history of legal issues in their personal lives. He made it clear that while both have faced struggles outside the ring, their approaches to boxing are very different. Tyson emphasized that Davis does not mirror his own style in any serious way. While Tyson was known for his raw power and explosive aggression, he acknowledged that Gervonta has developed a technique that is entirely his own. Tyson's comments reflect a broader point about legacy. He respects Davis's talent, but believes the comparisons in the ring are not accurate. He stressed that every fighter is unique, and while their personal lives might show some parallels, their boxing paths are completely different. Tyson made it clear that Davis is writing his own story in the sport, separate from anyone else's.
Davis, a lot of people say he reminds you of them. Does he remind you of yourself?
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe just getting in trouble with the law. Other than that, no.
It sucks. People have started comparing the first fight between Lamont Roach and GervontaDavis to the legendary matchup between Mike Tyson and Evander Holyfield. The similarities between the two are interesting, especially because both featured a dominant, heavily favored fighter going up against someone seen as smaller or an underdog. Just like Tyson was viewed as an unstoppable force in his prime, Tank Davis was seen as the stronger and more powerful fighter heading into his first bout with Roach. However, just like Tyson's shocking loss to Buster Douglas, Tank faced unexpected challenges from Roach that raised questions about his dominance. In Tyson versus Holyfield, seen as a clear underdog, surprised everyone by standing firm against Tyson's power and eventually winning the fight. Similarly, Roach showed surprising toughness and skill against Tank, making him look uncomfortable throughout the match. While Roach didn't win, he landed clean shots and forced Davis into unfamiliar territory, something no other opponent had done before. Like Tyson against Holyfield, Tank struggled to fully hurt Roach, which made fans reconsider how unbeatable he really is.
Face off against one another. One guy was a massive favorite, had taken a loss, and was seen to be too small, right? And I'm talking about Evander Holyfield versus Iron Mike Tyson. Iron Mike Tyson and Evander Holyfield was a major fight. A major fight. But Iron Mike Tyson was viewed as a destroyer. Okay? He was the baddest man on the planet. He was indestructible. The fact that he lost to James Buster Douglas was an anomaly because Mike Tyson wasn't focused and he...
Both fights highlight the mental and physical toughness of the underdogs. Just like Holyfield's victory over Tyson, Roach's performance against Tank Davis has sparked discussions about what these fighters are truly capable of when facing adversity. The similarities between these two legendary matchups make the upcoming rematch even more exciting, as fans wonder if history will repeat itself.
Now, Lamont Roach didn't get the victory, but he frustrated Tank Davis, and we never seen Tank Davis look like that in the fight. He hit him with a shoulder bar. He tried to bite him at one point in time in the 6th round. He took a ill-advised knee and didn't get counted in the 9th round, right? A lot of things took place. He never truly hurt Lamont Roach, hit him with good, clean punches, but never got hurt. Lamont Roach ate the punches, similar to Holyfield.
When Showbiz, the adult, mentioned that Lamont Roach knows the technique to beat Tank Davis, he was talking about a unique insight into how to neutralize Tank's strengths in the ring. Showbiz believes Roach understands Tank's fighting style better than most, which could be the key to defeating the powerful and elusive fighter. He highlighted that Tank is exceptional at controlling distance, which is one of his biggest advantages. Davis excels at staying just out of reach of his opponents, using his footwork and timing to land powerful punches while staying safe. The comparison to Mike Tyson is important here because, like Tank, Tyson was known for his knockout power. However, Tyson's strength was most effective at mid-range, and when opponents got too close, he struggled to land his big punches. Showbiz pointed out that this is a potential vulnerability Tank shares with Tyson. If an opponent can close the distance and avoid Tank's reach, it could limit his ability to deliver his usual devastating punches. Showbiz suggests that Lamont Roach has discovered this weakness, Tank's reliance on distance, and has developed strategies to take advantage of it. Roach's deep understanding of how to break down Tank's approach could be the key to success in a rematch. By closing the gap and avoiding Tank's longer punches, Roach might be able to neutralize his power and make Tank uncomfortable, just like Tyson had to adjust when opponents got too close. According to Showbiz, this technique is something only Roach fully understands, and it could be the secret to defeating one of boxing's brightest stars.
This is a secret Lamont Roach knows. Tank can go get you if you're running away, because Tank is very good at knowing the distance where he has most leverage on his punches. If you think about Mike Tyson is strange to say, but he wasn't great with his power when he was very close on the inside. Mike Tyson was a mid-range puncher. That's why Mike Tyson could go in from a distance and step in and knock you out. But when y'all close, Mike Tyson didn't really have all his power in there. Neither does Tank. So if you're backing up, Tank can go get you. Other than that, Tank has to counter you. That's how Tank knocked out Rody. That's how Tank knocked out Ryan Garcia. That's how Tank hurt Mario Barrios and started that shit, that snowball. That's how Tank knocked out Leo Santa Cruz. That's why Tank talks so much. He needs you punching.
GervontaDavis has made bold statements in recent interviews, saying that while Mike Tyson has both power and skills, he himself has the complete package in boxing. Davis believes his combination of punching power and boxing IQ is better than Tyson's, claiming that his understanding of the sport and ability to adapt in the ring make him a more complete fighter. With this, Gervonta seems to position himself not just as a powerful puncher, but also as a strategist, someone who can read the ring and control the fight at a higher level than Tyson did in his prime. However, Davis's comments raise questions about what exactly he's trying to prove. Mike Tyson is widely regarded as one of the most fearsome and skilled boxers in history, known for his unmatched speed, power, and ferocity that changed the heavyweight division. Tyson's legacy is built on his dominance in the late 1980s and his ability to intimidate opponents before they even stepped into the ring. For someone like Davis, still in his prime, to claim he surpasses Tyson in boxing IQ and overall skill is both a bold challenge and a controversial statement. By downplaying Tyson's accomplishments and focusing on his own, Davis may be trying to raise his own status in the eyes of boxing fans. It's possible he wants to distance himself from comparisons to Tyson and create his own legacy as a fighter who can do it all. However, this could also be seen as disrespectful to a man who has already cemented his place in boxing history as a true legend.
Do you feel like you're the mini Mike Tyson?
Nah.
So he knocked people out real quick. You knock people out real quick.
Yeah, but I can knock you out like...
So you saying that you can knock him out faster than Mike Tyson, probably, if it was a challenge?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying like, Mike Tyson got power and skills. I feel as though like I have like the whole package. Like I have, Mike Tyson don't have like, you know? I think so.
So, what's your message to Brandon?
Who?
Brandon.
What Brandon?
I know. Brandon is the nigga that whooped my ass. If you could say something to him real quick.
When we catch you, Brandon, we gonna get up with you.
There has been a lot of talk recently about the similarities between Mike Tyson and GervontaDavis, with many people drawing comparisons between the two. However, with Tyson reportedly helping Lamont Roach in his camp for the highly anticipated rematch with Tank, this could give Roach a big advantage. Tyson's experience and knowledge of the ring could offer valuable strategies to counter Tank's strengths. Tyson's legendary status as a boxer makes his involvement in Roach's camp a game-changer, possibly giving Roach the edge he needs in the rematch. According to Showbiz the Adult, Tank is likely playing mind games with Roach, trying to confuse him before the fight. Tank is known for his confidence and psychological tactics, and this could be an attempt to unsettle Roach ahead of the rematch. Showbiz suggests that Tank is trying to get inside Roach's head, creating doubt and uncertainty about the upcoming battle. This mental game could be just as important as physical preparation as Tank looks to gain every possible advantage before stepping into the ring with Lamont Roach for what is expected to be a heated rematch. Lamont Roach has shown himself to be a tough opponent with the potential to give Tank Davis a serious challenge. In their first fight, Roach pushed Tank to the limit, even forcing him to take a knee at one point. This moment highlighted Roach's ability to make Tank uncomfortable and disrupt his rhythm, proving he has what it takes to compete at the highest level. However, boxing is also a business, and despite Roach's talent, the dynamics of the sport are often controlled by promotions, opportunities, and matchups. While Roach has the skills to cause problems for Tank, the business side of boxing plays a big role in deciding who gets the chance to fight for titles and big payouts. Roach's strong performance in their first fight earned him respect, but it's often the politics of the sport that determine who gets the next shot, regardless of their potential.
It's signed and ready to go for the rematch, correct?
Y'all play so many head games, it's not even funny. Let me tell you something, bro. Lamont Roach has never been this big of a fighter before. Everyone knows Lamont Roach now. So he could be reaping the benefits of just enjoying his status of having that draw with Tank, while Tank is the one with the eye of the tiger. Tank is probably in the gym training his ass off, and then sign the contract like, all right, we got to fight when? June. Oh shit, let's hurry up and dash your ass. Sugar Ray Leonard did that to Roberto Duran. Duran was told that he had a fight in a couple weeks, and he was like, dude, I'm 190 pounds in Panama, which is why Roberto Duran was out of shape in the No Mas fight and was like, no mas. So Tank could be over there working, sign the contract in 3 weeks, and all of a sudden Lamont Roach got to put a training camp together.
Sanchez, a well-known boxing trainer, has shared his thoughts on the upcoming rematch between Tank Davis and Lamont Roach. While many believe Tank will dominate the rematch, Sanchez thinks the first fight was just a case of Tank having a bad night. He believes Tank's performance was below his usual standards and that the rematch will be a different story. Sanchez is confident that Tank will enter the ring more prepared and focused, making it easier for him to secure the win. Sanchez's comments reflect the belief that Tank's talent and skill level are far superior to Roach's, and that any struggles in the first fight were more due to Tank's lack of focus rather than Roach's abilities. Sanchez suggests that Tank has the tools to avoid the same mistakes and handle Roach more easily in the rematch. While Roach has shown he can push Tank to his limits, Sanchez feels Tank will correct his flaws and prove why he's one of the top fighters in the division. This perspective gives fans an idea of what Sanchez expects from Tank in the second fight, with the expectation of a more decisive victory.
Roach definitely earned my respect tonight. Definitely one of the first fighters to put Tank to the test, just matching fire with fire. That was a good fight. For me, I need to see a rematch ASAP. But yeah, Tank definitely took the knee, 100%. I see Roach winning that 7-5 personally, but boxing is business, so they were never going to let him have that win. Roach's timing was on point though. No easy knockouts tonight. Sharp counters, like, very good fighter, very good fighter. Let me know what you guys think, if that robbery was fair or not. Leave it in the comments.
Mikey Garcia expressed his belief that GervontaDavis will win the rematch against Lamont Roach, mainly because Tank will make the necessary adjustments to his strategy. Garcia pointed out that in their first fight, Tank didn't fight at his best and ended up giving away too many rounds. He believes Tank will come into the rematch more active and focused, which will make it easier for him to secure the win. Garcia is confident that Tank will take the lessons from the first fight and be more disciplined in the second, avoiding the mistakes that allowed Roach to gain some ground. However, Garcia also gave credit to Roach for his performance, acknowledging that he exceeded expectations. He even felt Roach was robbed of a victory, especially regarding a knockdown that wasn't counted. Garcia believes the controversy surrounding the first fight particularly the disputed knockdown, could work in Roach's favor by adding more intrigue to their rivalry. This could lead to a potential trilogy, creating more opportunities for Roach than he might have initially had. Garcia's comments suggest that while Tank is favored to win the rematch, Roach's performance in the first fight should not be overlooked. The controversy and the competitive nature of their rivalry could keep the door open for more exciting matchups between the two, possibly turning their story into a longer-lasting rivalry in the sport.
Gervonta had a bad night. I look for a tough fight in the next fight, but I still see Gervonta winning. I think Gervonta will win in a little easier this time. But Roach is a heck of a fighter. He's going to give everybody a hard, anybody that fights is going to give a hard time. But I do think that Davis had an off night.
I spoke to Eddie Hearn and he said he wanted to make the Shakur-Tank fight straight away. Obviously now Tank's going into the rematch. That won't happen yet, but when it does happen, Eddie's still adamant that could happen this year or straight after the Roach fight. How do you see that fight playing out?
Between who?
Shakur and Tank.
I still think Tank is the elite in the division. It's a difficult fight also, but I don't think Shakur will be as difficult as Lamont Roach was.